All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, y'all are doing well and staying healthy. All right. So, before we get started today, I just wanted to start off with this quote: "Be the best version of you." Think about that, kiddos. Be the best version of you. All right. So, we're gonna have a refresher first. The area of quadrilaterals, which was lesson 16.1. Remember, guys, the state of Texas expects y'all to be able to, up here, model area formulas for parallelograms, trapezoids, by decomposing and rearranging parts of these shapes. All right, which brings us to this right here. Area of a parallelogram. The area which is denoted or shown or expressed by an uppercase A of parallelogram is a product of its base. Remember, guys, product means to multiply. Of its base and its height, which gives us a formula. Area is equal to the base times the height. And please keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, your base and your height are always perpendicular, which means that they form a 90-degree angle. Always, always, always. All right, which brings us to our first, well, not our first example, but this is a reference sheet which y'all will have on your STAR tests, either now or in the future. So make sure you guys utilize this resource. All right, which brings us to this first example here. Here, ladies and gentlemen, they're asking us to find the area of this parallelogram. Well, we know it's a parallelogram, so utilizing your reference sheet here, y'all can see that the formula for the area of a parallelogram is area is equal to the base times the height. Remember, your base and your height are always perpendicular, which means that they form a 90-degree angle, which is right there. Because sometimes I can give you guys additional information. They could have put, let's say, they could have put a 5 right there, which would have been irrelevant. But in this case here, ladies and gents, we have all the information we need. So we plug in the values. And before we do, let's break apart the formula to identify what information they're giving us. Do we know what the area is? No, we don't. So we put a question mark there. Do we know what the base is? Yeah, because we see our 90-degree angle, or where we see the perpendicular. So our base is 14, and our height is 7. So now we have everything that we need. Let's plug it into the formula. So the area is equal to 14 times 7. So ladies and gentlemen, now we determine that the area is equal to 98 centimeters squared. And whenever we're working with area, ladies and gentlemen, our units are expressed as being squared. All right, there's the answer. All right, so next we're gonna have a trapezoid. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so once again here, utilize your reference sheet. I know that in the textbook they gave us this right here, well, which is exactly the formula we have right there, because I replaced it. But the textbook, once, if you guys download the textbook version, it gives you a slightly different variation of it, which is the same thing, just expressed a little different. But right here in this case, I did copy the exact same one that's going to be on your reference sheet, because you guys are going to see this in your 7th, 8th grade, and so forth. All right, so here we have a trapezoid, ladies and gentlemen. Utilizing your resources, we identify that the formula is area is equal to 1/2. Make that nice. 1/2, open parentheses, base 1 plus base 2, close parentheses, multiplied times our height. Ladies and gents, please keep in mind, I know we took notes on this, your bases are always parallel. They are always parallel, which means that they are kind of opposite of each other. They will never intersect. They could be like this, or they could be like this, or even different ways, okay? Remember, guys, they are always parallel. So in this case, let's go and break apart the formula. Area is equal to, the bases are equal to, and the height is equal to. In this formula, ladies and gents, in the bases, I'm just gonna add both of them, okay? So going through the information they're giving us here, here's where I see 1, 2, those two are parallel. So I remember both my bases are 39 plus 17, which is equal to 56. And then our height, remember guys, once again, our base and our height are always perpendicular. So right there, and we know that the height is 16. And we don't know what the area is, so we put a question mark there. Let's plug everything in. We don't know what the area is, so let's go step by step. 1/2 of open parentheses, the bases, which we already know are 56, times the height, which is 16. All right, so here it's there's several ways y'all can do it. Y'all can multiply 56 and 16 and then divide it by 2, or multiply times 1/2, which is the same thing. Or as I suggested earlier, or previously, find the largest even number and divide it by 2. So in this case, the largest even number is 56. Half of 56 is 28 times 16. And then that's what the formula is, 448 feet squared. All right. Questions? Well, if you guys have any questions, comments, go ahead and email me, okay? And that's the example that was given in the book. So now moving on to the next ones. All right, now these next two, I'd like for you guys to go ahead and try, and then pause the video a little bit so you guys can see the answer. And please make sure that you guys are showing me your work. Write the formula, write each of the values, like, break the formulas apart, identify what they've given you guys in reference to the formula. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so once again here, what I did here, I started off by identifying the formulas needed. Then I broke them apart here, and I identified all the information they gave us. And all I did was just substitute those values into the formula and used my order of operations to solve for them. So for the first parallelogram, the area is equal to 117 inches squared. And for the second shape, which is a trapezoid, the area is 168 centimeters squared. And this is kind of what I'm looking for when you guys are doing your work. That's what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen, because that helps me identify where the errors were, if there were any. So in the textbook, when we go, it just helps you guys going by step by step. All right, so next, ladies and gents, we're going to be working with a triangle. Utilizing your reference sheet here, y'all can see that the formula for the area of a triangle's area is equal to 1/2 of base times your height. And ladies and gents, please don't forget, well, you guys can always break it apart, but your base and your height, once again, are always perpendicular. You have to form a 90-degree angle. It's right there, because here they could have given you guys additional information. They could have told you that this right here, let's say, is 16 meters, and this right here is, let's say, I don't know, let's say 10 meters. And those values would have been, they would have been irrelevant because we don't need them to solve for the area of this triangle. So here, ladies and gents, plugging in all the values that they've given us here, we don't know what our area is, so we put a question mark there. We do know what the base is, which is 20 meters, and our height is 8 meters, and now we have everything. So area is equal to 1/2 of 20 times 8. My suggestion is to identify the largest even number and half it. Half of 20 is 10, times 8 is 80. Our units were meters. We're working with area, so our units are going to be squared. So the area is 80 meters squared. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And last but not least, we do have lesson 16.3 or lesson 16 3/10, solving area equations, which the state expects you all to be able to write equations, which is up here, that represent problems related to the area of rectangles, parallelograms, trapezoids, and triangles where dimensions are positive rational numbers. All right, so it's kind of the same as what we've been working with, but kind of working backwards. And I'm going to try to do this a bit different because YouTube has a limit of 10 minutes for the free version, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, so in this situation here, telling us that Renee is sewing a quilt whose pattern contains right triangles. That's important for us to know. Each quilt piece has a height of 6 inches and an area of 24 inches squared. How long is the base of each quilt piece? So right here, this is what I'm going to try to do, ladies and gentlemen, to solve this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so what I did right here, I just plugged in the values. I deconstructed the formula. I plugged in the values, and I substituted them into a formula. So here, half of 6 is 3 times the base equals 24. So the opposite of multiplying the base by 3 is to divide by 3. Where I do one side, I do to both sides, and bingo. The base is equal to 8. All right, and so here, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote down a formula because it told us it was a trapezoid. and I deconstructed it. I did everything over here, and I plugged in all the values. And once we did order of operations, we established that the height was 4.